Hello, Kim Croucher here from Interlude Mind Body Fitness. Jillian and I are going to show you a prone exercise that works on all of those anti-slouch muscles, all the upper back muscles that work to bring you out of a collapsed posture. So to start, I'm going to get you to lay down, Jillian. And we're going to start simple, and then I'll give you some ways that you can progress this. So depending on where you are, you can pick or choose what variation you'd like to use. We're going to use this mini stability ball, and you can see that this ball has got probably half the air in it. So it's very soft, very pliable and malleable. And Jillian's going to place this ball underneath the breastbone. Now you can play around with the amount of air in your ball. It's very simple to just pull the plug out and deflate it. Very simple to reinflate it with the straw. So Jillian, go ahead and put this underneath your breastbone. So you don't want the ball fully inflated, at least to start. We're using it again as a tool, as a target. So with the ball underneath the chest, so it's below the sternum, below the manubrium, below this little notch here, but it's above that little dangly bone at the base of the sternum, the xiphoid process. So you want to be right on that broad bone, the sternum. And her arms are bent. Elbows are bent, or arms are wide, elbows are bent, and this ball underneath the chest does put you into a little bit more of a rounded shape. And now she's finished with her forehead just resting on the mat, her eye gaze a little bit down. So she's not in ideal neutral. If I stood her up, she would not be in perfect posture, but we're going to work toward getting her into more of an ideal alignment. So first goal is to just start to breathe. And as you're breathing, you want to direct the inhale into the ball. So you want to have this image as you breathe in that your breastbone, especially that lower part, is moving into the ball. And as you exhale, picture your breastbone softening, which allows you to sink deeper into the ball. There shouldn't be a big reaction through the body, so you can notice Jillian's not moving her body, her head's not moving, her arms are not moving, but she can definitely feel the breastbone pushing into the ball as she inhales, and her whole upper body sinking into the ball on the exhale. So this is step number one. Now Jillian's going to add a little bit of movement. So Jillian, lift your head just a little bit off the mat, and take your eye gaze more to eye level. So this is going to put Jillian's neck in more of a neutral position, eye gaze to eye level. And now round over the ball as you breathe out. And as she breathes in and sends the breastbone into the ball, I want you to naturally feel how that tends to lift the upper back and the head along with the shoulders. And as you exhale, sink and wrap over the ball. So Jillian's not picking her head up independently of the rest of the body. She's still using the breath and that motion of the breastbone moving into the ball and softening back. A good image is, those old-fashioned water pumps, the handles that you pump up and down in order to get the water to come out of the well. If you picture your breastbone moving like a pump handle, this can be a helpful image to start to get some movement, some mobility. Another nice image is that fanning image that I often refer to a lot in breathing. If this helps, if this is helpful for you, you could have this image as you breathe in of the front of the body spreading to lift you up, fanning the body open. As you exhale, you sink and the fan begins to close. Inhale to fan the ribs open, lifting the breastbone, peeling it away from the ball, and the exhale takes you back. So this is a nice, gentle way to get that feeling of opening up through the front of the body, using the pressure of the ball on the breastbone to facilitate that. Now before or when you finish, I suggest that before you move on, that you stop, notice, acknowledge. So Jillian, roll onto your back. And just take a few breaths, noticing now that you've had that pressure of the ball on the chest, that you've put your attention on expanding and widening and lifting the front of the body as you're breathing, you may feel a change. You may feel like you're opening your shoulders a little more effortlessly. You may feel like your breath is a little more full. Jillian, I'm going to get you to roll onto your stomach. We're going to do the same exercise without the ball. This is a little bit more active, and we're going to try to get a little bit more awareness of what's happening through the shoulder blades. So it's the same position. Arms are nice and wide. Eye gaze toward the floor. So your nose should be the closest thing on your face to the mat, not the forehead and not the chin. Lift and place the nose down. Jillian's got some life and tone here through the abdominals. She's not allowing her rib cage to just collapse into the mat. She's keeping a gentle, easy anti-gravity lift through here. Same through the abdominals. She's not sucking her stomach in, but she's got a sense of being aware, having, again, that easy anti-gravity lift, so there's no collapsing in the low back. Leg position, if you have just a little bit of separation between the legs, it's easier for you to avoid over-recruiting the low back, allows you to melt the pubic bone and the two pelvic bones in the direction of the floor. Sort of helps you maintain this stability. The objective in this exercise is to try to move from this ideal neutral into some upper body extension without disturbing the low back and the pelvis down into the legs. I'm going to walk around to the back so you can see clearly. First move, Jillian's going to take one of those 3D breaths into her ribs. Now as she exhales, she's going to find the muscles that gently retract the shoulder blades and glide them down the back so her breastbone peels off. The neck continues the curve of the upper body. Then you return right back to start, lowering the chest, bringing the head down until the nose is lightly touching the mat. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale, shoulder blades start to track down the back, breastbone lifts off. You want to have this image of your breastbone reaching to the wall in front of you, and return back. Now the breath that Jillian is doing is she's inhaling for the preparation, getting that 3D expansion, getting some awareness through the shoulder blade muscles. Then the exhale is what moves her into extension. We're not changing this lower half of the body, still keeping that easy lift. The inhale, she stays and tries to avoid using the accessory muscles. The exhale returns her back to that perfect posture. Wonderful. Now here, Jillian, will you show an overextension in the neck? So this is really common. We're good at using these muscles and pulling the head back. But this is a posture that we live in many hours of the day often. So learning to lift and work the upper back and just carrying the curve through the neck as an expression of the upper body curve is what we're trying to find. This is another one where it's very helpful to have a mirror to be able to check in with your position, but using some of the images that I'm providing for you as you perform it can really go a long way in making sure the quality of how you're performing these exercises is really strong. Eye gaze is another really helpful one. As you come up, you want your eye gaze to travel up the mat, but it's not so high that you end up looking at the wall in front of you. So it travels up the floor, but not excessively up. Very nice. And return back, bringing the ribs back into the body. Excellent. So anywhere from 7 to 10 repetitions is all you need. Once you finish that, highly recommended that you bring your legs together, use your arms to push yourself back, and sit into what we call a shell stretch. So with the arms either long by the sides as Jillian has hers, or you can keep them bent also close to your legs. And the goal here is that you restore length to the muscles you've just exercised. So if you get into this position, you want to have a little bit of a lift through the abdominals so the spine goes into a rounded shape. And now as you breathe, your breath will more naturally flow into the back body, restoring length to those muscles you've just challenged. And stay here also, anywhere from 4 to 6 breath cycles to restore length to those muscles. Thanks so much for watching.